Welcome to your daily dose of dopamine. I cannot not interrupt that computer voice. Save my life. I really tried.
It's totally okay. It's your thing.
It's so funny.
Everyone's got a style. It's your style.
What
This
can
is
I
you.
say?
It's the deep breath, polite, listen for thing that no one else can hear style. That's
Yeah,
fine.
right. And it's the one that makes you giggle. I mean, how often do I get to hear you or
Great
me or
start.
giggling is fun. It's good for us. See, it says right here on my shirt. Life is good.
Oh,
Which,
I love that company, by the way.
oh my gosh, yes, yes.
They do good stuff. I got in contact with a rep from, but not the head guy at one point, and you know, so much of what we're trying to do is partnership, right? We're reaching out, and there were people a couple of years ago. I was doing something in Boston, and they were interested, but it just didn't quite fit. Because my dad really likes the brand too, um, and
Oh my gosh, a couple years ago, that
oh
was
yeah,
like a
well,
lifetime in terms of,
well, in terms of the world, right? I
well,
mean,
no, in terms of yes and exercise and the day one
oh,
program.
all
Yeah,
of that,
all
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yes, and it's we're in this place. I feel like right now where partnership is kind of my word of the day. I've just been buzzing on that, and
Nice.
there are so many potential partners out there, and it's about reaching them and letting them know, who we are, what we're doing, and what the opportunity for them is within the space. You know, uh, for example, I have the Northwest trip this summer, and I've just been putting out feelers and figuring out I would like to do live improv workshops since it seems like we have the opportunity for the first time in 3 years, and just like you said, before COVID, that was my plan. It was all supposed to be live. And then COVID happened, this all went online. And now it's like, okay, this can get back to a live. Now it'll be a hybrid. I still want it to be
Yeah,
online.
exactly. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And I recognize the importance of being live too. There's something to that. Some people really like the tactile and they like improvisationally, it's a different thing to be in person. You have so much more at your disposal. And it'll be interesting for me as a teacher too. I'll have to really adjust and open up to all those things that, because yeah, when you're improvising in space, it's very controlled in a Zoom box, but if people get the opportunity to go out, anything can happen.
And does, but it would be a totally different art form to me if I
Yeah.
were there. And
The
yeah,
roots are the same, the language is the same. The what it is, I mean, what's nice about improv online, strange as it sounds still, is the contained nature of it from a learning standpoint. Because when you are trying to learn it in that broad space and anything can happen, it sounds attractive and yet it's really your enemy. Where young or less experienced and maybe even less mature improvisers get into trouble is they really want to explore the everything, anything, and that turns into random anarchy
yeah, I bet, yeah,
instead of connection. You want anything to be able to happen, and yet what does happen is me and you,
yeah, yeah.
and this can of Dr. Pepper.
Have
That's what happens.
a sip.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
that's
Yeah.
what happens.
So I was reading some notes that I took on a conversation that you and I had back when I could actually take notes when I spoke, right? And my Parkinson's hadn't taken that away from me. And we were addressing this very subject, and you talked about the difference between the Zoom format when you would see someone, like look up and out, and you commented in the notes that in a live format that doesn't happen because the rest of the ensemble is right there, and that you just human nature, you're looking at people, you're not looking away from them. Whereas
Yeah,
if we're in an empty room by ourselves with a computer screen, I hadn't really thought about that part of it.
that part might make some of this easier, because like you said, the cues that we do well to pick up on improvisationally are going to be more readily apparent because of face to face. Breath, smell, hearing are all
Yes,
working.
yes.
One of my challenges I talk about, like getting into the same space with each other. that's a challenge in Texas versus, you know, California, right? I mean, and we're going to say, yes, we're in the jungle together here in the Amazon, and for some reason behind a cage. Um, you know, it's doable. It requires more imaginative strength than, you know, here's somebody handing you that and you're like, okay, I can see we're literally here together. It's easier to pick up on cues, your peripherals in play. Yeah. So it is a back and forth. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you might have the chance of working live with some of the people you've met only on the Zoom screen because of where you're going, right?
Phil just wrote to me from Seattle today, and you know, and just was talking about baseball, and I went, oh, by the way, yeah, I'm going to be up there, and it's like he says, oh, and I was like, well, maybe we should plan on doing an event together. It's like, oh yeah, so I when we talk about partnerships, back to that, that's kind of my main goal in getting this out there. Hey, friends, and here's the major cities: Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, BC. Going to be there this summer in July, and looking to do live workshops with you,
Nice.
and so
Yeah,
if you're out there, you're listening, let's talk. And
yeah,
yesandexercise.com is the place to talk more. And let's do this live and you know start growing this thing. You know, really as a precursor to the festival in Texas.
festival in Texas in December.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's your
and
dose.